country where he lived drew curiosity and ire. "You're on the road," French said. "Aren't you? Early for a drive." Kimble, who had things more personal weighing on his mind than this old drunk in the lighthouse, said, "Go to bed, man. Get some sleep. And however you got this number, delete it. Don't call my private number again." "I would like a question answered." Kimble moved his foot to the brake, tapped gently, dropping the speed down below the limit. French's voice had gone dark and furious, and for the first time, Kimble had a sense of real concern over the man's call. "What's your question?" "You're in charge of criminal investigations for your department," French said. "For the whole county." "That's right." "Which would you rather have, a homicide or a suicide?" Kimble had a vision of Wyatt as he'd seen him last, weaving down the sidewalk outside a liquor store in the middle of the day. Kimble was on his way to buy a sandwich for lunch, and Wyatt was on his way back from having attempted to buy a bottle of bourbon for the same. They bounced him out when he tried to pay with quarters, dimes, and nickels. That had been a few months ago. Since then, Kimble hadn't seen the old degenerate around any of his usual haunts. "Mr. French," he said. "Wyatt, don't talk like that, okay? Just put the bottle down and get into bed." "I'll get more than enough rest once I've had an answer. It matters to me, Deputy Kimble. It matters a great deal." "Why?" Silence. Then, in a strained voice, "The question was simple." "Would you rather have a suicide?" Kimble interrupted. "There, you happy? I picked and I was honest. But I don't want either, Wyatt. I hate them both, and if there's some reason for this call beyond alcohol, then—" That provoked a long, unsettling laugh, the tone far too high and keening for Wyatt's natural voice. "There's a reason beyond booze. Yes, sir." "What is it?" "You said you would prefer a suicide. I'm of a mind to agree, but I'd like to hear your reasoning. Why is a suicide better?" Kimble was drifting along in the right lane, alone in the smoky fog and mist. He said, "Because I don't have to worry about anyone else being hurt by that particular person. It's always tragic, but at least I don't have to worry about them pointing a gun at someone else and pulling the trigger." "Exactly. The very conclusion I reached myself." "If you have any thoughts of suicide, then I've got a number I want you to call. I'm serious about this. I want you—" "Now what if," Wyatt French said, "the suicide victim wasn't entirely willing?" Kimble felt an uneasy chill. "Then it's not a suicide." "You say that so confidently." "I am confident. If the death was not the subject's goal, then it was not a suicide, by definition." "So, even if a man killed himself, but there was evidence that he'd been compelled to in some way—" "Wyatt, stop. Stop talking like this. Are you going to hurt yourself?" Silence. "Wyatt?" "I wanted to know if there was any difference in the way you'd investigate," the man said, his words clearer now, less of the bourbon speaking for him. "Do you pursue the root causes of a suicide in the same manner that you would a homicide?" Kimble drove along in the hiss of tires on rain-soaked pavement for a time, then said, "I pursue the truth." "Always?" "Always. Don't give me anything to pursue today, Wyatt. I'm not joking. If someone has been hurt, you tell me that right now. Tell me that." "No one has been hurt. Yet." Yet. Kimble didn't like that. "If you're thinking about suicide or anything else, then I want—" "My thoughts aren't your concern, Deputy. You have many concerns around you in Sawyer County, some of them quite serious, but my thoughts aren't the problem." "I'm going to give you a number," Kimble said again, "and ask you to call it for me, please. You called me early and on a private line, and I've given you my time and respect. I hope you'll do the same for me." "Certainly, sir. If there are two things I'd hope you might continue to grant me in the future, it's your time and respect." French's voice was absent of mockery or malice. Kimble gave him the number, a suicide assistance line, and he could hear scratching as Wyatt dutifully wrote it down. "Take care of yourself," Kimble told him.